Hello, fams. Welcome back again. It's Jonva, the legend, as you know, or the man of the hour, if you know me from a Slice of Canada radio show. It's been an interesting journey, and like I said, I'm very thankful and very happy that you continue to inspire me by listening and supporting all that we're doing here. But today, it's not about me. It's about this amazing guest that I've been following on social media for a while, and they go by the name of 3 Second Chances. And like I said, when I heard about them from my co-pilot, Wanda, I was just like, great group. They sound like Justin Starstruck, just gotta happen. So let's make it happen. So 3 Second Chances, welcome. How you doing today?
Thank you. We're doing great.
Thank you.
Great. I know you guys have some busy schedules, so I'm finally happy that we're able to come together and lock in time. I know you're all over the country, but that's great. Beautiful things, But before we begin, I want to say congratulations on your new EP. You've had other things, but like I said, I really like it. It brings this kind of 80s type of pop vibe that kind of resonates from when I was there sneaking into Studio 54, the Roxy's, the Funhouse, I'm going.
Awesome.
Mom, I know you're listening, so now you know.
You said this interview is not about you, but sorry, if you're sneaking into studios, if you're sneaking into 54, we want to know.
Yeah, that'll be for another show.
Okay, the follow-up show.
That's right. So you guys had an interesting journey, and I'm going to take the audience a seat, and I want you to kind of share with our audience, how you came together and all these amazing things that you've done that has brought us to where we are now. So you guys, you have the platform, introduce yourself, all that good stuff.
Okay.
Whoever wants to go first.
Ask this a lot.
Yeah,
I know there's a lot. Well, I think what it is just, Jason and I have been friends for a really long time, but Joey kind of came into the fold, since high school. So Joey came into the fold a little bit later in our journey, but at the perfect time, because all of us were kind of pursuing music in our 20s, and I think life gets in the way a little bit. Jobs get in the way. Your time becomes very thin. And during the pandemic, we were around each other quite a bit. We just started writing songs. And next thing you know, we realized we love performing music. Like, why did this ever stop? Right. And so 3 Second Chances is the essence of that. We are taking our second chance at the industry, at music. And just this time around, enjoying it so much more.
Yeah, we're doing it our way. I mean, we've come from a very different backgrounds with music, but overall we have the same common thread, is that we want to just be ourselves. We want to produce what we want to produce. And I feel like audiences can tell when you're being authentic or not. And like, we're kind of just unapologetically ourselves. We're over 40, we're doing this, we're having a blast. We're legitimate friends. Mm-hmm. We actually do work well together. So it was just kind of like the perfect synergy that came out of a pretty weird experience with the pandemic. But we had a lot of dinner parties, a lot of writing sessions, and Joey has a big piano and he knows how to use it.
Is that a Steinway or is it Baldwin, my friend?
It is a Yamaha C2X, the greatest purchase I have ever made in my entire life. And finally made my last payment on it. So it's officially
That's great.
Okay, you sound great on it, because I'm a Steinway. Like I said, I learned on the Steinway, but when I saw you play, and I said, I kind of like what he's playing on there. I was trying to ask.
So actually, I went back and forth between Yamaha and Steinway, and if we take a little diversion to like a piano discussion, the difference between the two is that a Steinway develops over time, like the sound changes, it grows into its environment, whereas the Yamahas are engineered to sound the same forever. I am a Virgo, and I could not wrap my head around the idea that this was going to evolve. I'm like, I'm buying this piano for a sound. It needs to sound like this forever. So that's why I ended up with the Yamaha.
Oh, you should have had me write shock. I'm the choir, and I'll be like, yo, listen, you're going to get the best sound, so it doesn't make it. It's what comes from the soul. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yes.
That piano is the heartbeat of Joey's house. There's a humidifier in there for it. Like, it is the baby of the house.
He polishes it. If he sees a fingerprint, he's like blowing on it and like and howl.
There's special like pads. I like to stand when I'm like just kind of by the piano and singing and just throwing ideas out there. And I have my things. I got a cup of coffee. I have my iPad.
Oh God, don't put that there.
He's got these special pads so that nothing touches the piano.
Well, that's nice. I mean, you guys sound great. I'm a little curious because when I first hear you, I was just like, yeah, I like the blending of the vocals, your harmonizations. I mean, just love the vibe. So I'm a little curious, and I think I have the answer to the question, but I want to hear from you, your influences that you infuse into your arrangement and in the production.
So I absolutely love the sort of soft rock groups of the 70s, like Ambrosia, England Dan, John Ford Coley, even like Alabama, like some of even the country bands of the 70s that had this 4 and 5 part harmony, which you already identified is in every single one of our songs. And working with our producer Austin, I'm constantly saying, like, can we up the background vocals? Can we up the background vocals? Let's add another layer. Let's add another layer. So you identified that. So those are my influences, but I'll turn it over to the rest of the team.
Yeah, mine are more pop. I mean, I came from a very heavy theater background, so I feel like there's definitely some theatricality, is that a word? Infused into a lot of our music. But really, a lot of the synth pop stuff of today is definitely an influence on our music, combined with a little bit of retro. I guess we're kind of just a mix of all the musical experiences we've ever had, but definitely want it to be accessible to all ears and have everybody be like, that's a catchy hook. I feel that song like that. That just feels so right and so familiar. We want people to like feel it, hear what we're doing. And so I know it's kind of a generalization, but that's the truth. We really do have many different influences.
Okay. All right. And Ben?
Yeah, for me, influence vocally is Michael Jackson, and probably even theatrically. Just as a little kid, anytime there was a new video coming out, I was all about it. I was absolutely obsessed, still am today. I just feel like he gives it 100% in his vocal performance, and the stage performance is out of control. So I think that's where I get a lot of my influence. But obviously that was a long time ago. Currently, I'm really strongly influenced by like Great Good Fine Okay, Fly By Midnight. I love Betty Who. Like, there's a ton of really Dagny. Oh my God, there's a ton of like really good pop music right now and sort of indie pop music. And if we can sort of fit into that world, and it seems like listeners that are enjoying us enjoy them as well, like that's a huge honor.
Okay. You kind of jumped the gun because I was going to say theatrical because I already had it as part of my question. And like I said, I already decoded you guys. So I kind of know.
I want to know your interpretation of 3 seconds.
I will tell you, your songs are my playlist. So you are on blast. And it's like I like listening. I like listening because it reminds me of so many things that I've growing up, things that I've heard. Stylistically, arrangement. I'm like, yeah, okay, D nice. Okay, I got it. All right. Yeah, okay, groove. Okay, Madonna. Okay. And I can, my repertoire of music is pretty extensive, you know, and I'm like, wow, I said, they're going there. And you look like you're having fun.
We really absolutely are.
It's kind of ridiculous.
All the time. We have fun when we're working. We have fun when we're not working. We have this endless text message thread that could be anything from like an actual like musical comment to, hey, here's a squirrel eating corn in my backyard.
Yeah, right. It's all kinds of things.
So it does happen. And you mentioned theater. Absolutely. Like you will
100%.
Every one of our songs, there's a little Broadway in there someplace. There's always some sort of surprise. We always talk about like the finale of the song. I keep saying like I want composition. I don't want songs. So there's always a little bit of that surprise element at the end of it.
Like maybe there'll be a 3 Second Chances musical someday. It's definitely not out of the question.
Okay, well that's good. That's good because if you ever need me, I am working on a musical with an A-lister on Broadway.
Really?
Yeah. I can drop her name, Karen Tackett. Yeah.
Cool.
And I'm working on her soul opera. And it's interesting. Like I said, I'm like you guys. I just love music. Music. I don't care if it's dance, hip hop, rock, country, whatever. I'm on it. And when I heard you guys, I was like, yeah, you guys, you got something. And while you guys, I'm listening to music, I'm already hear stuff that we can collaborate on because I'm already like, light speed ahead when I hear things. And that comes back from my formal training in music. I'm like, oh yeah, this is what they're doing. Yeah, this works. Because what I like about you guys, you experiment. I watch. I listen. I said, they're going there. Okay, this is working. And no one's gonna say no. They're gonna be like, okay, let's go.
Yeah, we've tried some things. We're like, we don't know if this is going to translate, but to us, it's really funny. Like the whisks and the kitchen utensils and Joey's pantry. I mean, it's like we have an idea, we just do it, and if it's like spaghetti at the wall. If it works, cool, and if not, at least we had fun doing it.
It's true. It's cool that you're working with Karen Tackett. She's from like up the street from where Jason and I live.
Yeah.
She's very well known in these parts, and when she reached out to me, it was just like, it was some real powerful stuff, because she heard some stuff that I've done. Like I said, I've done things from pop, rock, hip hop, because I was one of those folks that was getting in trouble in music school because I don't follow the norm.
Who does?
I was a composer and behind the scenes of a producer, because I'm like, you got to create, you got to try.
Yeah,
it's either going to work or it's not going to work.
Yep.
But if you have the intentions and you manifest what you need to manifest, it always happens. But yeah, we're working on her soul opera, so it's interesting. And,
that's super cool.
Yeah, I like to push the envelope, in terms of a creative aspect. I don't think that there's anything that doesn't work. It's just how you kind of, align it to the intention.
Totally.
And with that, my audience wants to know, where can we find you? What new projects are coming up? Because we're about the love over here. So, like I said, we're a global family. We're about the love. So we want to follow and support. And I tell you, we're on different platforms and, all over the world, but it's all about the support. And I'm huge on creative, not even creative, but original music. I have a thing, I don't really care for the covers because they've already done their stuff, but you got to show love to their creativity and original music. So where can we find you? How can we support you?
Well, we're on all social media, 3 Second Chances, Instagram at 3 Second Chances, one word. We're on Facebook, YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify. Our newest song is Living Out Loud. You can find that streaming everywhere. Our next song's coming out at the end of the summer. It's called Out of Sight, and we're really excited about that. And we're starting to think about our live show experience that we're developing for the fall as well. So lots coming up. We're really excited.
I love your videos. So you got videos.
Yeah, that's something to talk about as well, for sure. I mean, we over the course of like from now until the end of the year, we have a bit of a plan. Like we're going to be releasing something at the end of the summer, like Jason said. In October, an EP will drop with an additional 4th song. So there'll be a little bit more to that EP. And then we have a Christmas song called When the Tree Goes Up that it kind of consumes our entire holiday season. So we have plans for this year. But what's exciting about this year is that we are developing what a 3 Second Chances stage show is. Because like you're saying like, oh, you don't follow the rules, you like to break the mold. We do too. So we're kind of like, we're trying to figure out what can we do that's different and unique and like on brand for 3 Second Chances for a live show. And we're in the process of developing that right now.
Well, that's great. That's great. It's good to know, because a little birdie told me about the holiday song. So I would like to have my guests come back. So we are going to have you back to around that time.
Awesome. And we're available for tree lightings all over the world. So if you know anyone that's lighting a tree, we can go.
Yeah. Share with the world, this holiday song, and I heard it and I like it. So like I said, I like it. I want to have it on my show. So yeah.
I think our first show was a tree lighting, right?
It was.
I think so.
Boston tree lighting. 20,000 people. It's crazy.
Wow.
It was cool. What a way to introduce the song.
Yeah, good stuff.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, before we leave, I always like my guests to kind of share a quote, and I always say something that will inspire, so our audience can embrace and say, guess what? We're going to get our 3 second chances too. So take a moment to kind of ponder, reflect on it. And then when you're ready, you can kind of just deliver it. If you want to do it collectively, I don't. Really...
I say this all the time. I say it is never too late, babies. I do say that all the time. Like, it is never too late, babies.
Right.
Right. That's from Joey, Jason, and Ben.
Second chances are available to everyone. You just have to have the courage to take it.
Nice. Very nice. Ben?
Bibbidi bibbidi bop. Who knows? I don't know.
That's profound.
Yeah, like we're gonna get back on that. That's good. That's good.
So
You know what?
ridiculous.
Cool. I just want to say, thank you for taking the time to come on here. I mean, you guys are amazing. What you're doing in terms of music and bringing back, just I would say just stuff that I say have substance. And I'm not trying to diss anything out there, but things that, like I said, if it's on my playlist and I can keep playing it back and enjoy it, and it's not going to hurt my brain.
Right. Yeah, our goal is to not hurt brains. It's to really just make people feel joyful.
I this is a little too much, right? But this is because it puts you in a very good and I would say in a bubbly type of mood. If you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. It lifts your spirits.
Yeah, it does. And that's what we need right now for the world. And that's why I started this podcast, is to, lift people's spirit, to help them navigate through whatever challenge that they have.
Seriously. Well, thanks for doing that. And thanks for having us.
Well, thank you. And like I said, I always have, return guests come back. So you are at the top of the list for coming back, so we can hear all the wonderful stuff that you're doing. And
awesome.
Never stop being 3-second chances. All right.
How could we? We've made it this far. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
thank
you
really
very much.
soon.
We appreciate your time.
Music is the place to be. Todo back up on me free. Music is the place to be.